Perfect. That's why we got the orange drink.
Welcome to How Much Fizzy Water Can You Drink Without Burping?
All right, ready to chug?
Such a terrible idea.
Do you want to try it?
No. It's going to hurt.
I can't even do it without laughing. Hold on. I got 2 sips.
Oh, it hurts.
4. 5, 6. Oh. 7.
You're going to... Don't throw up. That's good. Oh, okay, 1's enough. Oh, man.
Tasty.
Spicy water.
We're trying to drink on brand. It's orange.
Yeah, it's only because we can't afford liquid death yet.
Why you need to? I don't understand.
Because it's one of the best. Liquid death is one of the best marketing case studies I've ever seen.
You might as well tell this story now because you love it and you talk about it all the time.
Liquid death. So I would guess, how far back do you want me to go? I mean, like how I wanted to get into marketing, how that drives everything. Like,
we can. We can edit out the fat from the conversation. So
can't edit me out. I'm too much fat. Can't take that out.
Have to take that out.
I wanted to get into marketing because I grew up, like most people our age, watching a lot of TV.
Yeah.
And so many ads were just terrible. They were just downright terrible. It's like, I don't care what your focus group told you or how many marketing dollars you put into people saying, oh, this type of thing resonates with this demographic. They were just terrible ads. They were just stupid and weird. And if you don't believe me, go Google 90s kids TV ads, and you will instantly remember how terrible of a time that was. So I saw that, and I thought to myself, there's got to be a better way. It can't be that hard to make good content.
Side note, there were some that were so bad that they're the best commercials. There's a guy in Palm Beach that sells suits, and all I can remember in my head is, you better believe it. You better believe it. And then that was his tagline. So
that's like the what is it? Men's Warehouse. You're gonna like
Yes.
the way you look. I guarantee it.
Yep.
And here we are, beardy men. But I don't wear suits anymore.
Yeah.
That ship sailed, man. But there's those ones that were so terrible that they became just absolute pop culture. I mean, do you remember? I think it was Domino's with the pizza, the talking slice of pizza.
I don't remember that.
It was when stuffed crust pizza first came out.
Yeah, I remember
Maybe
stuffed
that
crust
was
pizza
Pizza
coming
Hut.
out.
Was it Pizza Hut?
Pizza Hut was definitely big on the stuffed crust.
Maybe it was them.
Yeah.
But anyway, they had the talking pizza, and it was like, oh no!
That's so.
And it had like the little olive as a mouth. You remember this?
I really don't remember.
If you saw a picture of it, you'd be like, oh yeah!
Probably. Like one of those repressed memories.
Right. You're like, I chose to forget that. Anyway, there was just so many terrible things in marketing and advertising in that were out there that I was just like, man, there's got to be a better way. I would love to go into marketing advertising.
Yeah.
Fast forward, went to school, my degree's in communications with an emphasis in electronic media. My advertising class was one of my favorite classes of all time. Just being able to produce ads, spec work basically, but doing the mental gymnastics of, solving the problem and conveying the how you're going to fix that for that client and how you're going to look and all the art direction and everything.
Yeah.
And I love that. And there was one company in particular that I really wanted to work for. Like, I looked at applying there after I got out of school.
Can you say who the company is?
Yeah. It was it's Wyden and Kennedy.
Okay.
They're in Portland, and they are the advertising firm that brought you The Man Your Man Can Smell Like, with Terry Crews and
the other guy
and Old Spice and what's his name? Not Terry Crews. It's there. It's right there.
The look at me and now look at you.
Yes.
I know who he is. He's
Mustafa.
He's actually really into cameras.
Isaiah Mustafa.
He does like what we do on the side for fun.
Does he want to be on our show?
You never know. He could be. He was on Potato Jet.
Oh, okay.
Potato Jet's
well, he's
channel.
never going to be on this then. Isaiah Mustafa was the first one. The look at me, now back to me. Yeah. Look at your man, now back to me. Now back at you. Now back to me. Anyway, I saw that ad and I was like, that is genius, because it nailed their, like, demographic wise what they were looking for. And it's a well done ad. It's a well executed ad. It's well written. It's well acted.
It's consistent.
The fact that it was 90% of it was practical.
Yeah.
That's where I went and I saw it, and I said, now those people know what the heck they're doing.
Yeah.
And,
it's like they did it and they let you know how they did it with what, like, because they would show you, like, pieces of the BTS as they went.
Right.
So it's like, we know what we're doing and we want to show you that we know what we're doing.
Right. And that's just, man, that was what got me just fired up about it. And then I found out that being in that kind of corporate Mad Men advertising world basically is a road path, a ladder that is paved with backs and knives. And
a lot of times, yeah.
A lot of times what happens is the people that are at the top stay at the top, and they just kind of churn over the bottom talent that just gets out of school and does that kind of stuff. Right. I'm not saying that
there's no
Wyden and Kenny did that in specific.
Right, but just as a general.
In the industry, that's just what happens, is you just churn the new talent and then people stay at the top. And I was not interested in going down that corporate ladder route. So that's when I moved out here, started this, all that jazz. But
where is here?
In North Carolina. Greatest state in the 50 states.
I don't know. I'm kind of preferential to Florida, but I'm growing on North Carolina.
It's cheaper here.
Way cheaper. It is
cheaper.
So much more affordable here than South Florida.
It's way better. It's much cheaper. We have the beach. We have most people that are from Florida.
Well,
so it's like
when you
Florida.
say you have the beach, we're 3 hours from the beach. I'm from Florida, where you just walk down the street and you're at the beach.
How many times did you go to the beach?
Maybe once a year. There are people in Florida that love the beach and go to the beach all the time. I'm not one of them. So
I go to the beach more than you do, and it's 3 hours away.
That's true.
And think about it this way: most of North Carolina is people from Florida anyway. Because what happens? This is North Carolina is the last stop on the migratory pattern of Yankees. You start in New York, you get old and sick and tired of the New York life.
That's offensive.
And so, no, it's true. And then they retire, semi-retire, whatever. They move to Florida, and then they get bored of Florida being hot and disgusting and gross. And then they move to North Carolina because it's halfway between the two.
I have to disagree. Most of Florida will always be a retirement town. North Carolina is not retirement. You get a lot of people that are from like me. I've got lots of friends that have moved up here from Florida.
Some of my best friends are retired.
Okay. But a lot of people have moved from Florida because of the cost of living in Florida compared to the cost of living here.
Right.
And not to mention mountains. I mean, that's kind of nice too. Landscape is pretty good, but
we probably should have set a timer.
Yeah, because now we're rambling.
But let me check that really quick.
We didn't even get to the liquid death part.
5 minutes, go.
All right, back to liquid death.
Liquid death. The first time I encountered liquid death, oh golly, where was I?
Jeez Louise.
I think, well, I don't remember, so I'll make it up. I went with some friends after a networking group to like a brewery type place, or a bottle shop or whatever you call it. And I'm not really much into drinking, let alone day drinking.
Fair enough. For
mostly medical reasons. Another story for another time. But I'm just like, it's like, I'm like, it's 11:30, guys. Like, it's a little much right now. So I was looking for something that didn't have alcohol or whatever. And there was Liquid Death. And I was like, what's this? And it's carbonated water or plain spring like bottled water. But it comes in the most epic packaging ever. And the whole thing was their whole mentality. It's got like skulls and stuff on it and like this really like kind of metal kind of font. I'm not so much into metal, but from a marketing standpoint, the reason why they made the product wasn't because we needed more bottled water. because there's
Yeah.
already like 50
A
brands
lot.
of bottled water.
Probably
It was because they saw a gap in the industry, because people that go to venues, people that go to shows, people that go with their friends to like breweries or whatever and don't feel like drinking, or they have medical reasons, or they're pregnant, they would, a lot of times people would get like drink shamed, apparently.
Yeah.
Which is the like whole everybody's doing it, oh come on, it's just one, that kind of stuff.
Don't do that.
Don't drink and drive. Don't drink and be a jerk
or
to the people who
shame
are
others.
driving or pregnant or nursing or may become pregnant.
Or just don't drink.
That too. PSAs. However, Liquid Death filled that gap by providing something that looked like an alcoholic beverage as far as its marketing and everything, but it's water. And so even, we all were kids. Like, I have 5 kids, and they get these little teeny cups, like at the thrift shop or whatever, like little teeny teacups, and they're like, and they're having fun sipping out of the little cup, and it makes them feel fancy. Okay, that same thing applies to Liquid Death for kids. So if I go to a show or whatever with my kids, like, they get to feel special too.
I've got an energy drink of water.
Right, because I don't want them to have like Monster, Rockstar, any stuff like that that's non-alcoholic, because that's almost worse. But so Liquid Death just is this gorgeous, perfect example of how to market a product well and just nail a particular gap in an industry. And that's why I love it. But we are not yet at the point where we can replace the Aldi Special with Liquid Death. Cheers. Cheers to Liquid Death.
Belvie. Tangerine.
Now, is that Spanish or Italian?
I don't know.
Or French? Or none?
But Aldi's is like German, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you say Aldi or Aldi's?
I forget which one it is. I know it's one of them. And I probably say Aldi's, and it's probably Aldi.
It's Aldi.
Yeah. I knew it was one of those. I couldn't remember which one because I always mix it up.
You're not alone. A lot of people make that mistake. It was 2 guys. It was 2 brothers, which might be why people say Aldi's, but I think it's more just because, like...
Or maybe people were saying it as possessive. It's Aldi's. It belongs to... Like, this is from Aldi.
Right.
It's Aldi's.
But I don't go to Targets or Walmart's.
Yeah, but if you got something, like, whose is it? It's Target's.
But I own it. It's mine now.
It was Target's.
But I didn't find it at Target's. I found it at Target.
Yeah.
This is the way. Aldi. This is the way. That's 5 minutes. That's good. That's a good segment.
So, do you want to introduce what we're doing? Or do you want me to just...
It sounds like you want to introduce what we're doing.
Yeah, somebody. We'll be back to introduce.
We'll be back after
doing.
the cuckoo clock. After this break, after this message from our non-sponsors. Insert Liquid Death commercial here.
Breaking the law, 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 breaking the law.
So,
We're trying to produce more content for who are we producing content for? We're trying to produce more content for you, the viewer.
indescript you.
You, all of you,
Y'all.
out there in the dark.
In the North Carolina verbiage, y'all.
yeah, all y'all.
All y'all.
But not all y'all, because some of you is crazy. So we don't want those.
Oh boy.
This is content for.
Where are you going with this?
I'm trying to narrow down our target audience.
Not crazy people?
Not crazy people.
I mean, if it's...
So if you're crazy, stop watching right now.
I don't... That's... You might get us in trouble before we ever start.
I'm just being honest. No, it's I mean, first and foremost, it's the people that could be potential clients.
Mm-hmm.
Like, want to produce content for them that... excuse me.
Liquid death.
That's why they call it liquid death. We're trying to produce more content for our peers, for our potential customers, for our existing customers, for our past customers and clients, because we want to be able to be a resource for people in this industry, with how we produce things, why we produce stuff the way that we do, why it matters, all that kind of stuff.
We want to give opportunity to help others learn what we do. So that's an aspect of it, because there's a lot of behind the scenes, and there's a lot of guys out there that are doing similar stuff. But we are, to some extent localized here, so we're a resource for the localized people that know us that are doing this. And then beyond that, just in general, growing and understanding marketing, video, photo, the necessity of it. And I think it's only grown exponentially since the pandemic happened. And so the more you know and understand of the industry that we're in, the more we can help you. So I think that's a major part of what we're doing, is informing, educating current and past and future client bases. And, if we land jobs out of that, that's awesome as well. But it's a resource for anyone and everyone that is business minded, marketing minded, and understands how that's going to affect growth patterns for businesses in today's day and age. So,
and not just the marketing aspect of companies, but people need to understand that video editing and production, that's the new words per minute. Like, you used to be able to have like that standard for, if I'm looking for a job, they're going to ask you, how fast do you type? Now it's, can you produce photos? Can you produce video? I mean, several of our clients are people who work in marketing positions in companies and corporations and organizations that unfortunately have thrust upon them the demand to not only drive campaign management, campaign strategy, brand strategy, everything that goes along with that, keeping your brand identity consistent across the board, but they're also hit with all the production demands as well. So it's making the flyers, making the graphics. Then on top of that, my timer goes off. So they're tasked with making the timers, or they're tasked with making flyers. They're tasked with making flyers, making graphics. Then they're also hit with the demands of making photos and now producing videos as well. And that's like 5 or 6 full-time jobs right there.
Yeah.
That's a graphic designer. That's an editor. That's a videographer. That's a photographer. It's on and down the line.
Yep.
All and full-time amounts of work that are all relegated to a marketing director, a marketing manager, and those types of positions. So these people end up with like this gigantic like swath of stuff that they're expected to do for their company.
And outsourcing that is a massive help in that arena. So some of that is, convincing the higher ups, those that are putting those people in position, the need for help in that. And if we could even be a voice for that, that would be awesome.
Right.
Because it does help us garner more clients, but it also takes a load off of that marketing manager that, if one person is doing all of those things will be subpar compared to what it would be if they are able to split and outsource some of those things to somebody who does that full time.
Or, even if in some instances, the best scenario for those companies is to hire somebody to handle those specific demands, to relegate and delegate those tasks to somebody that is their full-time job. I talked with a potential client once where I was talking to them about some of their photography needs. I said, hey, I can produce these photos for you and this, that, and the other thing. And they had kind of a consistent product that came through that they would get photographed. Or they had the need to get photographed because of their social media presence. Like, they were already doing all those things.
Yeah.
And I was talking to them about bringing me on to be able to handle the photography.
Yeah.
And they said, well, John in HR, like, he likes photography, so he does it for us.
Yeah.
And I was candid with him. I said, that's not his job. Like, you just told me his job is HR,
Yep.
not photography. So A, he's doing not what you paid him for.
Yep. And he should get extra for
Yeah,
doing
he should
that.
be, and in fact, you should be paying John more.
Yep.
It wasn't a like, oh, you should hire me. It was a like, like, you need to pay that guy more. If you're having him do stuff that's not part of his job description, even if he likes it, he's still not getting compensated for it. So you're stealing from him.
Yeah. Or if you're not happy with his results and you don't want to pay him for it, then that's
Then,
when you
yeah.
pay somebody
Then you pay somebody
that
else.
does it professionally.
Here's my card. So those are kind of the things. So those are the desires that we have to help people. Like, at the end of the day, we're trying. I tell people, like, I don't work for anybody. I work with people. I always work with people. Like, I don't try to set up like I'm some like, oh, you know that some client. I don't know where I'm going with that.
Yeah, me either.
My mind is saying master slave, but I'm like, don't bring that up. Like, don't get into that.
Oh my goodness.
In a photography contract, you have master flashes and you have slave flashes.
Yes, that's a whole nother conversation.
And I'm going to stop before I make any other jokes
don't
that
dig
are
any
in my
holes.
head, but I will refrain.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, I mean, I think the point being, we are there to serve the client and meet the client's needs, but we are the professional in our field. So, we've had this conversation with different companies. Some companies, you find somebody who doesn't know what they want, who doesn't understand marketing, who just wants us to come in and help them with that part. You have other companies, and I'll shout out Red Rhino for this one because they're so good at it. Is a company I used to work for that we've had conversations with. They know their brand. They have a clear, clean brand identity across the bar. So we go in there, and we're not trying to, shape their brand in that sense.
Right.
We're trying to reflect their brand because they've already done such a good job at that. So there's different companies, different types of needs, and it's our job to work with them to figure out what that need is and then produce content as a result of that. Which I
think that's it for this session.
Sweet.
Oh man, there's a light there.
Not happening.
I wanted it to like
But
click.
to wrap it up, we want this. We're gonna turn this into a series, and we want it to be all things. You look so goofy right now. From my angle.
I can't lean
From
on
there,
it.
you
I
look
can't
fine.
lean on it anymore because I broke it.
Yeah. Anyways, but we
I gotta fix it later.
we want to turn this into just a resource, like we said before. And there's going to be a lot of stuff. We're going to do some behind-the-scenes stuff, so you can see what we do, how we do it. We may even start up some classes. We've talked about that at some point. So this is the very beginning phases. We don't know exactly where we're going with it. We're figuring some of that, but we
know
people to-
exactly where we're going. Always.
Apparently, he knows exactly where we're going. I thought we're on a journey and kind of come.
The
have
journey
fun
is the
with this
destination. Yeah, totally,
kind of thing.
absolutely.
But, whatever. Come along with us.
I'm a professional.
Just because we don't know the direction we're going with this specific thing doesn't mean we're not professionals.
Doesn't mean I can't help you. Just don't look at my.
That's yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
do we have a tagline?
Making better media.
Making better media. We gotta.
Yeah.
So you say it. You're Micah Brown.
I'm Micah Brown with Micah Brown Media, and together we're making better media.
Better media. Making better media.
Which is actually a double. Like, it's making
MBM.
better, like as in better
Making
quality.
it better.
And it's also making better, like as in
The whole thing.
improving the
Media.
entire.
We need to do that again because I didn't
Existence.
say it with you. It was really awkward.
Okay. I'm Micah with Micah Brown Media, and together we're
making better media.
Very good.
Sweet.
Hopefully it kept recording.
I did too. I was kind of like, I thought it was probably cut out, but we kept going.
Nope, it's still going.
Sweet. So I'm all about leaving some of the awkward stuff in there purposefully